And good evening, I'm Keith Kate.
I'm Gail Searens. Thank you for joining us for this election night update.
And let's get right to it in the fight for governor. We're playing a little ping pong here. We'll get it straightened out. In the fight for governor, here you see Rick Scott, 49%, Charlie Crist, 47%, with 99% of the precincts reporting and 4% for Adrian Wiley.
And News Channel 8 political analyst Dr. Susan McManus joining us now in studio to help us sort of break down all of this. And, you know, the backstory on all of this is that neither one of these candidates have come out. Apparently now Charlie Crist says he's not conceding. And so now what?
Well, you know, this was totally predicted. The polls, when people doubt the polls had it at 0.6% difference by the time we started voting today, and it hasn't changed a little bit, but not much. This has been a tie for a long time. And the fact that it's close is just 3 in a row now for Florida. We were the closest in the country on the presidential, 0.9%. And the first Scott, 1.2, and now we're, you know, just a couple percentage points different. Florida's just close.
And when you would look at this picture right here, you would think at this hour, the Rick Scott campaign and all those folks there in Bonita Springs will be rejoicing and celebrating, but even they're holding their breath at this hour thinking, well, should we celebrate or wait?
What happens now? I think that's what they're thinking. But we have seen a big crowd there, and we heard that Rick Scott was actually walking around the crowd a little bit earlier this evening. But once again, we're not hearing from Rick Scott or Charlie Crist personally. We're hearing from handlers, from folks involved with their parties and their campaigns. Here's the picture from the Charlie Crist campaign. This, of course, going on over at the Vinoy in St. Petersburg, his home. And so as we contemplate what might be happening here, where could the explanation for this lie, why Charlie Crist might think there's something that he could hang his hat on here?
Well, according to the Division of Election Statistics, there's still a few counties that aren't at 100% reporting, and we don't know why, and that's one of the problems. We don't know what the holdup is. And that's, of course, what gives Crist hope. And this, after all, is the biggest race of a lifetime for him. You're going to do everything you can possible to try and see if you won or not. So you really can't fault him for that. But we just don't know right now from the Division of Elections when we're going to get 100% on all these counties. And that's the troubling part. We just don't know.
Well, we want to turn our attention